So let's talk about the Steelers Browns situation a little bit. And for those of you who don't know, the Cleveland Browns have been the laughing stock of the league for years and years on end. They um, haven't been in the playoffs since 2002, and they've just been one of the worst teams. And it is also kind of funny because they're named the Cleveland Browns, and their helmets are solid orange with no logo. Their logo is an orange helmet, and their name is the Browns. So it's really weird. I think they're named after a man or a guy. I think the owner or the founder, his last name was Brown. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening with the Browns. But anyway, just a terrible team name, terrible logo, like a orange football helmet for a team named the Browns. Um, I just thought of something. I'm not going to say that. No. Sometimes you have thoughts. This podcast is kind of set up on me talking, and then as I talk, I start to think of things. I kind of have a few things I want to share usually, but yeah. But I'm not going to say that. Let's see. So the Cleveland Browns. So that's kind of the basis of this. And so the Steelers have been the better team, and the Steelers and the Browns are in the same division, and they're a little bit of rivals, except it doesn't really make any sense because the Browns haven't been good for a long time. Well, this year the Browns really started to look good, and they made the playoffs. Actually, beat the Steelers at the end of the week, at the end of the season, the last week of the season, to make the playoffs, and so that was really fun for them. And I don't know. I don't have an issue with the Steelers. It's just I have an issue with certain people on the Steelers, and I had Juju Smith-Schuster. That's who we're going to talk about today. I had him on my fantasy team, and full disclosure, I started him maybe 1 week, and he never started again. He had such a bad season for me. Um, Dude was too busy making his little TikTok videos to then he would have rather made TikTok videos than actually played a good game of football. The Steelers started out really good. I think they started out 11-0, and then they kind of fell off at the end of the season, but they still won the division. So anyway, it ended up the Steelers were playing the Browns in the first round of the playoffs. Browns, the team that hasn't won in a long time, and Steelers, the team that's been good for the past. Well, they weren't good last year because their quarterback was injured, but they've been good for years. One of the better teams in the league. And so, Juju Smith-Schuster, Steelers receiver, TikTok star, maybe should work on his game a little bit rather than dancing on logos, etc. before the game, or going on Instagram Live before the game, and talking to all his followers. So I'm going to switch the screen over, and this is Juju Smith-Schuster. He was asked about if he's scared of the Browns this year, and this is what he had to say. So just watch this video.
I think they're still the same Browns team I play every year. I think they're nameless, great faces. Yes, they have a couple good players on their team, but at the end of the day, like I don't know, like it's the Browns. It's the Browns.
So there you have it. There you have it. Myron's opinions. Myron's opinions on TikTok. Now you know. Actually, it's not just TikTok. There you have it. The Browns are the Browns. The Browns is the Browns. The Browns is the Browns. Not proper English, by the way. Most of my friends know me as the grammar police. The Browns are the Browns would be the correct way to say it. The Browns will always be the Browns. Anyway, Steelers lost. in embarrassing fashion. The Browns actually got out to a 28-0 start, and I think ended up winning the game by, I think it was, the final score was 48, which is a lot of points to 37. They put up 48 points on the Steelers. It's safe to say that they were a little bit offended by the way the Steelers looked at them. So, what can we learn from Juju Smith-Schuster? I think the lesson here is pretty obvious. I mean, it's fun to see people who it's fun to see people who are overly confident fail, and I don't like to see people fail. When someone's overly confident and they just think they're gonna win and they're gonna fail, and they end up failing, that's always kind of fun. I know it's not. That's kind of mean to say, and it's not very nice. But at the end of the day, I mean, don't we all love watching um, the underdog win, or especially the underdog that everybody said wouldn't have a chance? So, do I like the Browns? No. I don't really care for Baker Mayfield all that much. I don't care for um, Kareem Hunt, to be honest. I don't care for the Browns necessarily. I don't need them to win. But when you have a player that looks at a good team like the Browns, and they are a good team, and says, "Well, they're just the Browns; they're going to lose," um, it makes sense why the Steelers lost. What does the Bible have to say about this? And I'm going to read a couple verses from Proverbs. So I'm going to pull this up. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. There you go. There you have it. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. It is better to be of a lowly spirit with the poor than to divide the spoil with the proud. Let me read that again. It is better to be of a lowly spirit with the poor than to divide the spoil with the proud. It's better to be lowly with the poor. Whoever gives thought to the word will discover good, and blessed is he who trusts in the Lord. The Browns is the Browns. The Browns is the Browns. So there you have it. Proverbs is not promises. Proverbs is life advice. So when you read Proverbs, if it says something, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it's going to happen. It's just principles you can live your life by, if that makes sense. So pride goes before destruction. I think if you look at history, if you look at, football, if you look at anything, any different thing, pride always precedes a fall. So when you feel pride coming up in your life, when you feel the urge to be proud, what are you going to do? When you get to a place in life where you have a lot of money and you have a lot of success and you have a lot of this and you have a lot of that, beware, be careful. When you become a TikTok star like Juju Smith-Schuster and you forget about your other job because you're a TikTok star, what are you going to do?